Intersectionality. According to Kimberly Crenshaw, intersectionality refers to particular forms of intersecting oppressions, such as intersections of race and gender, or of sexuality and nation. Our group feels passionate about spreading awareness of various intersections within our community. We hope from this video that our audience gains a better understanding of the importance of intersectionality as a whole. When society talks about Beyonce, they don't acknowledge her blackness. It's just, she's a woman, girl power.
Yeah, I agree. I think that she totally, like the fact that she is like a woman of color definitely gets overlooked. And like she's not really seen as like a black woman.
Right.
Like she doesn't really have that. Like it's not necessarily something that's like associated with Beyonce as a person.
Oh my God. Beyonce, she's black.
I think that she, like I said, it's not associated with her, especially in a way that it's associated like with other like black female artists like Nicki Minaj, like Cardi B, like just other, just like other influential. I mean, obviously they're not as influential as Beyonce is.
Do you think it's stemming from her brand as a whole? Like from all the way from the beginning with Destiny's Child? And so that was a way for her to appeal to everyone?
Well, I kind of feel like with Destiny's Child, that was like I do feel like they were recognized as a group of talented young black women. Like I feel like that was the thing when it came to Destiny's Child, and then when she separated and did her own thing, I feel like that's when it kind of like she just became a woman in the music industry instead of a black woman in the music industry.
My whole point is that when it comes to theater, especially musical theater, white people have every other musical in the American musical theater songbook. But we have Dreamgirls, The Wiz,
and sometimes I think it calls for that.
Right.
You know, it's like a historical thing. You really need that, otherwise it's not representing the history the way it needs to be represented.
How do you navigate the awkward world as a woman who may not be seen as white at times?
Sure. So that can be really tricky because a lot of the times they are typecasted. So not only your FACH, F-A-C-H, which is your voice type, whether you're a lyric soprano, you're a full lyric, you're a spinto, you're dramatic, coloratura. There's so many different divisions of the voice. And so for a lot of that, there's a lot of, stereotypes that go along with that. So I don't really fit into that mold of a full lyric soprano. When you look at me, you don't think like, oh, she has a big voice.
That's almost like an intersection in itself. Being a woman and being a person of color and being in the criminal justice field, like those three things are never like all put together. When you have the classes that talks about the current police brutality, that talks about the percentage of African Americans or people of color in prisons versus the percentage of whites in prisons, like our criminal justice system is to be flat out racist. That's why it's really important to have minorities in the criminal justice field, and that's such a big reason as to why I'm doing what I'm doing.
The reading we did about Kimberly Crenshaw, I know how she talked about being discriminated against and the workplace as being a black woman, not just being black and not just being a woman, but the intersection of both, and how it wasn't covered. So I feel like just implementing people of color into the criminal justice system will make that so much better.
Do you feel like when I'm around these people, I have this sort of personality? When I'm around these people, I feel like I have to hide this. When I'm around, is that something that you feel like you have to deal with, or no?
I have experiences where I'll be in a black space and they'll acknowledge my blackness but not my transness. And I'll be in a white space
that's what I was wondering.
where they'll acknowledge my transness but not my blackness.
Interesting.
And I wonder does Beyonce feel this through the lens of, okay, in this space,
they acknowledge my artistry, but in this space.
Right. It's like in this space I'm a mother, in this space I'm an artist. Can I just be a human?
I honestly feel like everybody goes through these type of struggles within their identities, having to present themselves one way in a group of people and having to present themselves another way versus a different group of people, And then also, when I'm in a setting with all guys, I always feel like I'm not heard. One matter. And then like if I could be in another setting like with a bunch of other people and I feel like I matter because it's more mixed. So it's just like different settings like that. Like I just feel uncomfortable in some settings, and other settings I do like feel a lot more comfortable. But I feel like the people you surround yourself with, that's what like the part of your identity that will come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm around a lot of black people, like of course they're gonna acknowledge my blackness identity, but they're not like gonna like really respect me for my woman identity. So like things like that would like come into conflict with, you know, battling with different identities.
Take that, tack on being black,
Yeah.
being a music artist, being in the industry for I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
you know, pretty much building a brand.
Yeah. A name for yourself.
Right, and you know, being one of the biggest artists in the world. And you got Beyonce.
I think people forget that she's a human.
So there's maybe a part of her that's had to deny her blackness in some way.
Or even maybe not that, but maybe that her brand or
Or not
either her
focus on
brand or herself even thought that she had to be, you know, whitewashed, if you will, in order to appeal to, you know,
Yeah.
large audiences.
Yeah, like maybe she felt like to get to the point that she is at, she needed to kind of tone it down, and now that she
is
is in that
there.
position,
Right.
now maybe she's like,
Right.
okay, now I need to bring recognition back to my roots and back
It
to
could be something like Lemonade or,
yeah,
you know, something like that, you know, that
That's-
shows more of really who she is and how
That's-
she feels.
Intersectionality. According to Kimberly Crenshaw, intersectionality refers to particular forms of intersecting oppressions, such as intersections of race and gender, or of sexuality and nation.